Hey y'all, so of course it's none other than me, Carly from Archer Adventures again, and I have another story time. It's gonna be a whole little rundown of kind of my first week or so in Mexico City. This year I went there for 3 weeks in March, starting in March. Now, I have way more on Mexico City, but we just gonna get into the story, you see how everything pans out. So, nobody could have told me that I was gonna visit Mexico 2 more times this year, outside of Tulum. Okay, the Black Expats, Digital Nomad Brigade, all those people on YouTube, they saw a real pretty picture in the cities that they are living in and, just living it up in, enjoying life in. They did not fail to deliver. I'm going to just say that. But Mexico City is the one. I've never gotten to visit New York, and going there kind of had a similar vibe as far as the city goes. There are literally so many people. I didn't even see about two of us there. And after visiting Latin America, I don't even assume anymore. Are they Black American? Are they Afro-Latino? I don't know. The Afro-Latinos, they're from any and everywhere. So when seeing us out there, I kind of just will wait to see if the person would speak English with me. The U.S. type. Because, other people do know English. They hear me speaking it. But, when somebody's more native. But, yeah. The city, oh my God. Again, the people, the architecture, the speed and energy there. Food is in abundance and of amazing quality. Special mention to the Jugo Verde on every other corner. And shout out to Jugueria Caro on Sonora, Avenida Sonora. In Roma Norte or Sur, Roma, whatever. Endless restaurants, beautiful ambiance they have there, decor. It is an experience to be had for sure. And my fave, the walkability. I will walk until I couldn't walk no more. Ride the train or just take an Uber back when my feet were at their end at the end of the day. Now, a city where I feel like I can move and get around is one that I will always love. And that being said, that's how I was able to enjoy it so much, in a short time. The parks, oh my God, the museums, oh my God. Also, all those are just in abundance, so many of them. And going out to any event that caught my eye, because, it's a big city, there's flyers for everything, everywhere. My feet was on the ground, okay? On the ground. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Being, I stayed in Roma Sur, but of course, they're right by all the other neighborhoods. Everything's connected. So being in a city neighborhood, it really amazed me. I am pretty much from the suburbs. I had never really lived in anything like that. Even Atlanta, not the same. Downtown Atlanta isn't the same. So I spent days walking around, my same neighborhood, and still never saw everything just within a few blocks. It is insane. I had that same feeling, that feeling the first time I went abroad to South Korea. Me and my best friend went to Seoul after graduation. So being in Seoul, like, let's just talk about it. We touched down and rode a speed train in. First off, rode a speed train in? That's crazy. Like, all I could think from the moment I got there was like, okay, this is a city, child. Also, Mexico City, undeniable. This is a city. Now, I really wanted to live in Mexico somewhere, probably like Playa del Carmen, like if the weather was good there, not too hot, or Mexico City next year. But you know, life has had some other plans for me, and I guess somebody got more ideas in mind for me, even me. So still, if I go back to Mexico soon, La Ciudad, CDMX is always gonna be at the top of my list, for real. So I did so many things. Like, I want to try and go day by day, but honestly, this was in March, and my memory is gonna be jumbled. So please bear with me with the timeline. So my first days, I was kind of just walking around, getting familiar with the areas, like the best thing you can do when you first touch down somewhere. And actually, you know what? Let me rewind, because I had a time, capital TIME time, getting my things into the Airbnb. The place had so much character, which is why I picked it, of course. But we all know if a building has that much detail, like it is aged and that much detail, we know it's gonna be old. It's gonna be old, okay? My place was on the 4th floor, and it did not have an elevator. I need to start putting sound effects in this or something, like a podcast. But because I want to be like wah, wah, wah. But whatever. Back to me having a capital TIME. I was so out of breath getting my bags up the steps, and it would have been nice if I could struggle in peace. But the lady who let me in, welcomed me in, and was like telling me about everything, she had to show me which keys to use, and of course finish giving me a whole rundown on the place. She was so nice about it and wasn't laughing at me at all. But as for me, it's moments in life where you gotta laugh to keep from crying. Because in what world am I carrying a definitely 50-pound suitcase up 4 flights of stairs? I'm strong Barbie at that point. Yeah, it's giving strong Barbie. So, but anyway, I finally made it up there, and I really love the place. Like, it set the tone for my whole stay. I feel like if I didn't like the place, then I really wouldn't have felt such good vibes overall. Would have bad, not a bad attitude in full, but my mindset would be a little negative, possibly. So after that, after I got settled, put my things away, I went out to find something to eat, and I just noticed that it wasn't that many people out. So I was kind of confused, this is supposed to be a city with millions of people or whatever. But anyway, we'll get back to that later. For the streets, first thing that stuck out to me was that they had regular sidewalks, and then a wide path kind of integrated into the median on most roads. It's a wide median. And so instead of you walking and crossing streets back and forth, you really can just take a nice stroll down the center. And I don't think I saw any of the medians that I think all of them were pretty much fully shaded and lined by trees on both sides. stuff like that. I love stuff like that. When a city is well planned, when a city is well designed, like I even follow urban planning TikToks. I don't know what it is. It's just so, it's like a soothing thing. I don't understand it, but yeah. And it all matters, like, all the time it takes to even plan stuff like that, or all the details that go into it. It all matters and makes sense, like, for the citizens, because you can enjoy your walk. And most of the paths, they run right into parks, random roundabouts with sculptures and monuments. Like, everywhere you turn, there is something beautiful, there is something catching your eye. So back to me, like, just walking, because I was walking for a little minute trying to find something to eat. So I found a spot, and I think it was called El Gordo. Now, I'm not sure if it was on a main road. I wouldn't be able to tell because there weren't that many people out. But yeah, like, I think anything you order from that spot will be good. Anything. It was a little spot on, I think it was the main road. And I feel like maybe I saw a big black sculpture, like, kind of high up into the sky. Okay, not into the sky like that, but yeah, close enough. It's real tall. It was my first time being out about, so of course, didn't really know. Now, the owner of El Gordo, he was nice, and he just started asking me a few questions, like, the usual. Where are you from? Are you a student? All the basic stuff like that. And we were talking everything until this man walked up and was, like, kind of talking to him, like, pretty much, like, dapping him up. And, like, he heard me speaking English, like, he noticed, so he introduced himself and was telling me how, how he had ended up in the city and whatnot. But, like, as I sat down and spoke with him while I think he was ordering a beer or whatever, some red flags was definitely going off, because he was saying how he was retired at a relatively young age. If he had certain businesses, I really can't remember, but he did end up inviting me to one of the quote-unquote private parties him and his friends have. So immediately, I was like, you mean like a get-together? Like, just a little, like, hanging out or whatever? And he was like, something like that. And I didn't like the way he said that. So, yep, you already know. My first thought was, all right, let's wrap this up, because you're not about to traffic me or make me a sex slave. Like, let's not get trafficked on the first day in Mexico, please. My mom would never let me live it down. Like, well, if I almost got into it, she would just never want me to leave the country ever again. So I left there and I walked a little bit before making my way back home, like, just in case he would try to follow me or anything. Like, he probably didn't, because maybe he was gonna actually order food, but you just never know. So other than that little I don't know what to call it. Other than that, I love seeing all the stalls, all the cafes, all the street food people set up. Well, I mean, there weren't so many out, because I found out it was a holiday that day. That's what happened my first day there. But I'm not from a place of street food, so anybody being out there selling street food, like, on a daily, like, it's all new and interesting to see. I probably found a little store to stop by for water, basic things like that. But honestly, I don't know. I would just assume that's something I would do, because it's something I always do. And I only have a few pics from those days, because I was really, really just taking it all in. And trying to be aware, especially in a new place. Like, okay, everybody says this neighborhood is good and nice, but I gotta see for myself. And yeah, I'm gonna just leave that there for right now. But the next day, like, everybody was out, the energy was there. Like, of course, like, the sun is shining through when I wake up. It's beautiful. So I woke up and I did a little work, and then I went out to enjoy a nice lunch, explore a little bit. And it was really, really nice to see people out, like, leisurely enjoying a lunch. Not in a rush, not alone. Most people seem to be taking their dog for a walk and then just stopping for a bite or just enjoying with their friends. And that was like another of the first where I started to question my lifestyle and all of our lifestyles here in the U.S. Like, the pressure that they give us, or the pressure that they have us under to perform and, like, be at the will of an employer, it's so crazy to me. So much so that we can't even imagine, like, simply enjoying a lunch, like, truly, and, like, just letting lunch be that. A lunch without fear of being deemed lazy or unproductive. Like, you can just go be free there. Like, I could see that their work is not life. Like, very, like, two are kind of separate. So, now, of course, I understand that being in Roma there, that neighborhood, is not exactly the most accessible to most of the people living in or around Mexico City, but still, the concept is there, just like they have that concept in, like, Europe, a lot of different European cities. It's just a lifestyle there. So my mindset began to shift, and the more that I saw people living and not just being on the go, in survival mode every day, like waking up, like kind of jumping out of bed pretty much for a paycheck, like, yeah. And, like, for another example, like, how often do street vendors get breaks? I mean, I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. But the people that I saw out there, they seem to enjoy their particular work, because, I mean, if you're opening a stand, like, you don't have to open something that you don't like. If you really like working with produce, or if you love to cook, then yeah, go ahead. If that's something you like, do it. And I feel like it's just something that they will give their all into, and you can see it. Like, they focus on their quality and their service and everything. Like, they really serve the people. So I feel like it's kind of in them to, like, that's what they want to do. Or maybe it was just like something that is within their family. So yeah, as long as it's like a part of somebody's purpose and all that they really desire, or it's something that keeps them going, like, that's good. So, I mean, okay, I got off on a little tangent. But as you can see already, like, Mexico City is definitely a spot that feels close to my heart. Now, back to lunch. I walked until I found Parque Mexico, which has a little pond and is nice and it's shaded and it has a dog park, like, all that good stuff. And people are really out there making use of it. Like, it just, that whole area seems like a place where people can come together. And, of course, let's take that back to the urban planning. Like, it's not that way for no reason. But, like, even, like, you see the little lovebirds out there. Everybody's sitting around being cute. Like, they are not people to shy away from a little PDA. I'm with it. So, okay, Yes. I found, what my actual like lunch slash brunch was. I tried strawberry conchas. The concha was so good. And huevos rancheros from Santa's Conchas. Like, I'm gonna try to do my Spanish pronunciations, but for the sake of me just talking, I know how I usually pronounce it. And yeah, Santa's Conchas was really, it's such a cute place. I think the decor was in like mint blue, like white and gold, and it kind of had like a little art deco feel. Like, if I have pictures, like, I will put them in, but yeah, like I said before, I didn't take pictures of every little thing because first of all, I need to see it with my eye. Like, everything is kind of jam-packed in the city, and yeah, I wasn't being like a big tourist in that sense. I really wanted to see what it was like to hang out around there. And yeah, cute place. And yeah, the restaurants, the cafes you can find there, like, they all have their own individual styles. Like, no place is lacking a style. Like, yeah, you have the, cafeteria types, hole in the wall types, and like basic stalls, but like most of the other ones, other little restaurants, like most of them are gonna be decorated or renovated, and yeah, just believe me, it's gonna be super aesthetic. Like, that's why I was super drawn in. I probably just, and after that, after I ate, I probably just walked around Parque Mexico more, and I'm sure I wanted to do more or see more, but I'm not sure. Bear with me, that timeline. I don't know, but let's just assume I had to go back home that day. So I do remember going to the store. Like, what I did in between, don't know. But I definitely went to buy like actual food, because I needed to at least have breakfast, like, or snacks or something in the place, especially me being on the 4th floor. I'm not just running out for, a bite every 2 seconds, no, because I know I had to come back up the flight. So yeah, later on that day, I went to Mercado Medellin, which is like maybe like 3 or 4 blocks back from, I think it's Constituentes. Don't get me saying the wrong street. I feel like it's Constituentes because I think that's the road that I was on. I'm gonna look at a map and I'm gonna get that right. But hold on, let me check the map. Okay, no, I was definitely wrong. Constituentes is an avenue there, but mine was Insurgentes Sur, like the main road going all the way up to the little fountain and the plaza with like the big sculpture where it looks like an angel is up there. We're gonna get these monuments right. But I didn't really visit that one. I kind of just saw it after I left the park. We'll get to that maybe another story time. I will say, like, going to the market, like, supermarkets is another thing that I love. Supermarkets, like, fresh, like, weekend markets, anything like that where you get fresh food. I love it. I'm all for it. So, it felt really good to be out, supporting the local people and to have fresh fruits and vegetables so close to my place, because here, like where I am now in Augusta and even in Atlanta, that's not something you can just go get. Like, you cannot walk out your house in most places in the U.S. and like find some fresh food to eat. So yeah, barely a 10-minute walk, barely, if that. I was kind of late going in because, of course, like I said before, I had to go after work. When I first walked in there, like, I bought my little mesh bag because I was ready. I had my list ready. And like the guy who was selling the bags, he was also selling fruit. Like, genius, a marketing strategist. So I started filling it up with some stuff for the week, and I did not have much time to be browsing around, look for this, look for that. So I started this little thing where I would ask if each person I stopped by had a friend that sold the particular item I was looking for. Like, of course, like, they want to help their friend out if they're not making it. Like, this is a community type based people. They gonna love to help their friend out. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's mainly because they all sold different things. And like, there's a stall where they may sell fruit, one that sell more vegetables, like the ones I stopped at first. One where there's a guy that sells cut fruit in particular. Ones where they sell meat or cheese. One's for milk only, or milk and eggs. One's for oats, grains, and nuts, like, dried frutas secas and stuff. And one's for, sweets, like candy, treats, desserts. Mainly like candy, though. Again, sensory overload. Because all of that stuff is packed into one market. This was like, it's no way I'm about to get around here without being distracted by something, or being like, ooh, I want to try this. Or people are still trying to sell you stuff at the same time that you're walking through. So you got to kind of stay focused. I was, lacking time. But, like, okay, more on the market. I really loved that market. It was really nice. Really, really nice. There was restaurants right behind those vendors. Even more restaurants that I found out were there. Like, maybe on my third time going back there, I was like, they actually have this whole other side of the market. So, yeah, if you go and you see, like, the butchers and everything, keep going. Like, you'll see more on the left. And what else? Yeah, other than, like, more restaurants, there are even more vendors as you walk back to the back, like past the seafood guy, past the milk and eggs guy, past all those people. And then you'll see people that are selling clothes, electronics, furniture, jewelry, cleaning products, like, you name it, they got it. But of course, I only went for food, and I believe that was my first time buying eggs individually like that. Yeah, just certain things stick out to me. Like, just to walk up and say, yeah, I want 3 eggs. And somebody just hand you 3 eggs. Like, whatever you want, you can get. It's there. And coming from my experience later in the year of when I went to Mexico City again, the chicken, it might be right around the corner, honestly. It might be right around the corner. So the egg is fresh. So yeah, like, it's such a simple thing, but like, it's new to me, and I really, really, really loved it. And yeah, going there that day was my first trip, but definitely not my last. Like I said, probably went at least 3 times, at least. Maybe once per week. So yeah, it makes sense. There are other stores, not just the markets like that. I did end up going to other ones, like the Walmart Express. Yeah, there's a whole Walmart Express. And funny enough, in there, so random, but like, here we put black pepper, ground black pepper on everything. I couldn't find black pepper like that. Like, really only the peppercorns with the grinder. But, here ain't nothing, just, it's black pepper, shakeable black pepper everywhere. So even the Walmart Express didn't have that. But Walmart Express, there's stores called Soriana and Chedraui. I think I pronounced it right. But, like I said before, they wasn't my go-tos. And yeah, so back to my actual day. After shopping, like, yeah, the stuff was heavy in my arms because I need to load up. Like, I gotta eat oatmeal in the morning. Like, I gotta have like an apple or nuts or something to keep me up. So it's a lot of stuff in the bag. I checked out, like, there was a food hall across the street called Comedor de los Milagros. I think it's like Miracle Food Hall or Miracle. I don't know. I know Milagros is miracle, but we're not gonna do a Spanish lesson right now. It was a really, really cute place, but I wasn't feeling anything from there at the time, so I kept going. I stopped at a cute shop, like 2 to 3 blocks from the place, and ordered some pasta to go. Even that name, I'm gonna just start making a list of places. If, like, when I go places from now, I'm gonna keep the names so I can tell you where I went. So yeah, in Mexico City, they legit got any and every kind of food you may want. Seriously, just throw a name out there. Japanese, you could probably find German, even Turkish, Mediterranean. I don't know, maybe even soul food coming up. I think I saw something in the Black Expats in Mexico City, or Black in Mexico City group. Somebody was selling soul food or soul, like, Mexican fusion. I don't want to say the wrong thing, because it might not even be that. Maybe it's just soul fusion, something like that. But yeah, anything you want, you can find it. The pasta was simple and good. They don't do too much. Like, sometimes here, stuff can be over seasoned. But I mean, I mainly ordered carbonara, so this a easy one. And I figure I may want pizza soon, but not, the basics, like, because it was a Domino's kind of right on the next block away from my Airbnb. And I'm not sure, I may have seen a Pizza Hut somewhere too. Yeah, Pizza Hut was like maybe 2-3 blocks the other way. But I didn't want that. And Papa John's. Dang, yeah, they had everything right there. Yeah. But I asked the waitress who was there, since I was kind of just waiting on my food to be ready, I was going to take it to go. I asked her where I could find a good pizza at, and she was so excited to tell me about her favorite place called Lulo's. And Lulo's had to be maybe 2 blocks back. 2 blocks back. A very cute little, I feel like I even saw them making the dough. I was like, oh yeah, this is about to be good. Really good. Now, lucky me, I went there on a day where you could get maybe a large pizza for the price of a small or a medium. And yeah, I partook. Definitely partook. But after I ate, it was getting dark and a little too late for my comfort. Like walking, especially with walking with my food and the groceries that I had bought from earlier. I had to go back home. So, I think I'm going to stop here because I got so many more stories about exploring Mexico City, or about places I've been, restaurants I tried, things I saw. It's the city I stayed in the longest this year. So I will definitely be back with more. Or I might just share some of the footage that I do have, because I do have a little bit more footage for more of those days. So I'll post them, and I hope y'all enjoy. Alright, if you got any questions, if you're going to Mexico City soon, if you want to know some places I ate at, definitely let me know. And I hope y'all like this style of story time or just sharing. If you do, you can like it, or if you want to maybe see more footage of my travels in the future, let me know. I always record things for me at some point, but I do want to share on the journey, so I might be more conscious of getting material for y'all. Definitely. So okay. Alright, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching if you like my little story time screen. But Yeah. Thank you and bye. Bye.